A very interesting poll was released in Russia that showed that the majority of the population supported the restoration of the Soviet Union, even if they didn't think it was possible to do so. When researchers asked the public if they would like the Soviet Union to be restored, 58% replied in the affirmative, with 14% saying they considered such a project quite realistic at the moment. 44% viewed the restoration of the Soviet Union as unfeasible, even though preferable. 31% said they would not be happy if events took such a turn, while 10% could not give a simple answer to the question. Now consider this. The majority of the population of Russia are not communists. They don't identify as communists, and they're not members of the Communist Party. So if that's true, why are the majority of them supporting the restoration of the Soviet Union? If they're not communists, but they're still pushing for communism, why? Because under the Soviet Union, they had a different system. There were better jobs with better pay, far more stability. They had better vacation times. They had a better standard of living, even under the Soviet Union. They had a much better quality of life. They had far more infrastructure, because we've all seen the images of former Soviet areas that no longer have the government funding, no longer having the system to prop it up once it's been restored to capitalism. Back then they had a military that the world feared. They had one that the United States was absolutely terrified was going to destroy them all. Of course, this wasn't true, but it was an image that they had. They had a military that was powerful. They could not be bullied. They could retaliate in huge ways. US sanctions couldn't really do anything to them. They couldn't embargo them or hurt their financial sector. They had a much greater society that they could be proud of. They had a country that they could be more proud of. And as much as Putin is pushing Russian independence and the strength of Russia, he can't do it anywhere near what the Soviet Union could. And there was far more pride in that than there is in the country now. And that's why a lot of people want it back, because it genuinely was better. They're not arguing it because they're communists. They're arguing it because they had a better life. And that really says everything. When people who aren't even communists are arguing for communism, that's a pretty good sign. Thank you for watching. Won't you go ahead, rate, comment, subscribe, and share on various social media. And if you want, you can head over to my Patreon page and show your support. Or you can head over to the MRN bookstore and check out some of the latest books available.